Congratulations on creating and using your first class. Now that we have all these recipes, what do we do with them? Organization helps us use things more effectively. And the first step for organization is grouping things. So how would we group recipes? In a cookbook, of course. I'm a bit of a cookbookaholic. I drastically cut my collection when we moved, and I try to avoid that section of the bookstore now. But what does that mean for our program? We could simply group all our objects in an array. We've done this type of thing before, and an array can be extremely powerful in its own right, especially when used with PHP's built-in array functions. But we want our cookbook to be more than just a group of objects. We want this group to be able to perform some actions, such as filter by property or give us a shopping list. Can we create an object of objects? Yes, we can. A collection object can hold a group of objects, typically stored in an array. A collection object also allows us to perform actions on the stored objects. Most data persistence frameworks have their own implementation of a collection object, and there are some more advanced options that I'll link to in the teacher's notes. For this project, we're going to create a simple collection class with the specific actions that we want to use. To start with, we're going to create a new class, so we need to create a new file in our classes folder. We'll name this recipecollection.php. We open our PHP tag, and then we create a new class called Recipe Collection. Again, we're using Studley caps. We're going to use two properties, a title to name our collection, and a recipes array to store our recipes. Like we did with the recipe class, we'll make these properties private, and we'll add getters and setters. We can use the getter and setter for the title directly from our recipe class. We can also grab the constructor as well. This will allow us to give it a title at the same time as we instantiate our object. Next, we need to be able to add a recipe. Let's create a new method. We'll call this add recipe. We're going to accept a recipe and add it to our array. Finally, we need to add public function getRecipes. And then we return this recipes. Let's go back into our cookbook and create a cookbook object. First, we need to include our new class file. Next, we can instantiate a cookbook object. We'll use new recipe collection, and then we'll pass it a title, Treehouse Recipes. Now we can add the recipes to our cookbook collection using the add recipe method. If we go into our recipes file, we can grab all of our recipes. Now let's try a var dump on our cookbook object. Let's hide this line. Now let's run our script. Class. Not new. Wow, that's a lot of information. But that means we have a basic group for the collection object. But it's not really doing any more than just getting and setting an array. So let's start enhancing our collection.